Welcome back to Joe's Home Flavor. So today we're going to be cooking pea stew. So yeah, it's a garden pea stew with poached eggs and some cured meats. Stay tuned and I'll tell you now what you need for it. Welcome back. So for our stew today, we're going to be needing lots and lots of peas. We're going to be needing as well some cured meats. I have a selection of bacon, smoked bacon or pancetta. We have some chorizo as well, some of which made in my house. So yeah, homemade chorizo. And we have another version of smoked pancetta as well. This is from a different location. So basically we're going to make this stew with the peas, with all these cured meats to perfume and to make the stew a little bit more interesting. And obviously we're going to finish it with our poached eggs, which you can see over there, which are the pièce de résistance of this dish. So we're going to be needing a couple of things, not so many though. So on this bowl here we have already some one small chopped onion and 2 garlic cloves. I have also a bay leaf and a little bit of thyme. This is 1 can of chopped tomatoes, skin and all. I have obviously my salt and my olive oil over here. In terms of spices, I'm going to be using dry coriander and dry cumin, and as well as sweet paprika. And apart from a little bit of water, that's pretty much all we're going to be needing today. So let's get on with the process. Right, so all these portions I'm going to be posting on the recipe on the website with half of the portions of what I'm using today. The reason I'm doing such a big pot is because we have some guests tonight, and obviously we need food for a lot of people. This should feed these portions that I'm using today should feed between 6 to 8 people, depending obviously on how much they eat. So let's start our pots, and our stew always starts with a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to be using our bay leaf and our onion and garlic. Okay, so with that paste of onion, garlic and the bay leaf, I'm also going to start sweating some of the meat here. So I have chorizos and black puddings that I will leave for later in the process, but I'm going to use all the bacon I have on that sous-vide as well. So some of these chorizos, so the black pudding, it's not made in my house. The chorizo is, and this is a different kind of chorizo also made in the house here. And just to give you a little teaser as to some of the recipes that I'm going to be sharing with you. This one is made about 20 days ago, which should normally be the time for curing the chorizo. So this is the one that I'm going to be showing you how to make, and this is a very thin chorizo, pork meat chorizo that we call linguiça in Portugal, and you can use it. You can eat it straight as is, or you can use it for your cookings as well to enrich them. Okay, so going back to our sofrito here, our bacons are already sealed, so they've been sweating a little bit along with the onion and the garlic. I can smell all these lovely smells already coming to life. So it's now time to use our tomato. So I'm going to pour the whole thing in there. I'm going to let it simmer a little bit. Okay, our tomato is going nice and beautiful as well. Again, cooking at a good pace. We're cooking on a medium-high heat. As that is coming to the boil, it's now time to start with our peas. So I have about 1.5 kilo of frozen peas. So get them in there. Well, so this is a one pot dish, which is my favorite kind of dish, and but believe you me, this is probably also one of the most tasty dishes you can do in one pot. Okay, so our peas are in, and we should now insert some of the water. I poured in at this point about half a liter of water. I'm going to use more water, I'm sure of it, but at this stage of the recipe, that's plenty. So I'm not going to season it just now, because obviously I need to it to come to the boil. So once it heats up and all those frozen peas start thawing and start actually gain some of that flavor, from that point on I can start tasting the flavor and then worry about obviously the seasoning. So I'm going to leave that for a bit now. It will take about maybe 10 to 15 minutes before it comes to temperature, because obviously we're dealing with frozen peas. So thyme is good. There's a lot of things you can do with thyme. There's ways you can use thyme. There's at least 2 different ways you can use thyme, fresh thyme. One of them is obviously use it with the twig as is, because it's easier to remove once you're done with it. Another way is to actually peel or strip the little leaves into whatever you're cooking, because they are perfectly edible, and just take the little leaves and then don't worry about it anymore, and leave the twig out. Thyme is very good with meat, but it's also very good with fish, especially if it's a very fat fish. For example, like salmon. Salmon deals very well with thyme as well. So it's a timeless spice or herb, and it's one of my favorite herbs ever. While we wait for the stew to come to temperature, what we can do is be a little bit naughty. So I got a pot here, and I got my olive oil, like that, and a little bit of my balsamic as well, like that, and then a little bit of salt, and I have some bread here. I can just, entertain myself, just to get my time going. This is something you can do in your house. When you're waiting for your food. Okay, so from the looks of it, our peas are now already at a good temperature. Just give them a little stir. Okay, we have a good sauce going on. So it's now time to add our thyme, just a few leaves, just to give it a little bit of flavor. Now I'm going to add a little bit of paprika and some dry coriander, some cumin, and some salt as well. Now you can put all the chorizos and the black pudding inside as well. And I'm going to let it cook for another 15 minutes. This would be a good time for you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Give me a thumbs up, and if you want, and obviously, and share with your friends and your family, and make sure that when you subscribe to the channel, make sure that you tick that little bell there, so that you'll get notifications for every time I upload a new recipe. So yeah, please do, and then I'll wait here. Okay, you back? Okay. So I've lowered the temperature a little bit now. It's still on a medium-high, but this should be enough. And also, this would be the time to remove that bay leaf. Or if you want, you can leave it in. But normally, I remove it right about now. Okay, this is going beautifully. We need to let it cook for a few minutes more. I have some herbs here, some fresh herbs, which is basically parsley and coriander. I didn't mention them initially, but you can always add fresh herbs to your food. And if you're not cooking with them, you can use them at the end, just to perfume your food a little bit. Okay, so I roughly chopped these herbs here, stalks and all, and I'm going to leave them here for a bit so we can finish the dish with. As my stew cooks away, it's now time for me to try that seasoning and see if it's okay, or if it needs anything. As far as I'm concerned, it's ready to rumble. I've checked my seasoning. My seasoning is fine, so this will be the time where we start poaching our eggs. I'm going to get these eggs over here. If you're feeling brave, you can crack them straight in the pot, or you can use something like this. I'm going to crack them inside because I'm brave and I know where these came from. So, just like that. The number of eggs that you use is entirely up to you. In my particular case, I have 7 eggs, so it's 7 eggs I'm using. I promise you, you never have too many eggs in this dish. Eggs in, only one thing left to do. Our chopped herbs, which I've chopped just now, I'm going to spread them on top of the whole stew, like that. They're going to hide the eggs a little bit, but they're going to help seasoning and perfuming this stew. Okay? Right. And now we'll bring it down to a low temperature, and we let those eggs poach for about 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, depending on the eggs and depending how hard you like your poached eggs. Okay, and now we're going to see how does that look like on a dish, and how does that taste. Well, I'm going to see how does that taste. Take a look at that. Look at that beautiful stew, and tell me that your mouth doesn't start to salivate. This is one for the books. It's a traditional stew that we do in Portugal as well, and it's just amazing. So let's go then, let's try this. I'm going to start in opening that egg. I like them hard boiled. So yeah, as you can see, it's not completely cooked in a way that it's not like completely hard boiled, but that's how I like them. I don't like the runny egg. So, but that's entirely up to you, how you like your eggs and how you like to have them cooked. But let's try this. So, these peas with a little bit of my chorizo. Oh my God. Oh, the freshness of the herbs when you put the herbs on top and you don't cook them with the stew. It just brings a spring garden to the dish. It brings all those flavors, all that freshness of fresh herbs, without actually messing about with the overall taste. So you have all the seasoning done on the actual stew, and then those fresh herbs, the coriander and the parsley, just adds that extra layer of freshness to the whole thing. And also, obviously, this can be a very heavy dish because it's got all those smoked meats, and it's got the black pudding and the pancetta and whatnot. So it's a stew, so it can be a little bit heavy, and those herbs just close the deal. This is another one of our favorite dishes here in the house. I'm cooking for a lot of people today. That's why I did all those portions on the website, and I'm going to reduce those portions by half, so you know what it would take to, say, make dinner for 4. But just a second. Gorgeous one. So yeah, give it a go. As you see, as you witnessed, it's very easy to make. It's a one-pot stew, so you don't have many preparations to do or many processes to go through to get this ready. Well, you obviously need to prep the things, but that's pretty much it. You don't. It's a very easy dish to do. It's every bit delicious. I mean, you can have it. It can last you for 2 days. You can have it for lunch the next day. Even if you want to have it cold, you can have it cold as a bit of a salad sort of dish. It's a beautiful dish, easy to do, and yeah. So if you like it, like I said earlier, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and share with your friends. I promise to come back with a few more of our tricks around the kitchen. Thank you very much for watching this one, and I hope to see you soon on the next one. Cheers.